Hey guys, today with the topic, action beats statement, and that at any time. Not only with women and not only the conscious actions. Even things we do subconsciously show how we really mean it with other people, and men are no different. There's a rule I have about this, and it's recruit slow, fire fast. So taking a long time to look at what's going on between a woman and me and understanding it first before committing emotionally. And with something that doesn't work for you at all, then I'm right out of it. That was different for me in the past. I got attached quickly and tried to bend my counterpart the way I wanted. Their words were more important to me than their actions, because I could influence them to a certain extent. So that in the end, for the time being, I was satisfied. The receipt usually came a long time later, but then so right. It is not difficult, but we usually try to play down her actions, because we want to believe that she is the right one for us. That what she says is meaningful to us and can be relied upon. But you only ever speak for yourself for the moment, and no one tells you how they came up with certain things internally. With their experiences, an "I love you" or "I want you with me always" can mean something completely different to them than it does to you. Or those moments when you're struggling with yourself and you're not yet clear on exactly what you want. When you have overcome various hurdles, such as being already firmly together, having married, having made promises. To have shown to the outside world that you belong together. Then you won't drop that so easily if you have a feeling that it's not the right thing. At least people very rarely do that these days, and that's okay. But you need to realize that understanding your partner doesn't just involve their words. Your willingness to empathize should not be as high for anyone as it is for this person, because you are putting a part of your own happiness in his hands. If you are miserable in the relationship, it will gradually drag you down, and if that happens because of a lack of communication, that's one thing. But because you don't put yourself in the other person's shoes? Enter empathy in Wikipedia. It is the ability and willingness to understand and comprehend motives, among other things. If you only open up to a part of your partner or only allow what looks positive to you and not the big picture, then you can't understand why certain situations end the way they do. It's all predictable. But most of the time, within the moment, we get so stuck focusing on one part of the facts that it's impossible for us to see all the options that we have. And part of the whole is not only what they say, but also what they do. The moment we notice that something is very wrong and they pull back is usually the moment when it's too late. They don't notice this either, or they can't understand it, otherwise they might have already addressed it themselves or made it clear. Sometimes we don't want to see how bad everything has already become. But that's really communication that didn't work for you. Try to take yourselves out occasionally and do not see everything only from your point of view. Yes, this is at least as important, and also you can check your actions and whether they really agree with what you verbally communicate. That is actually your goal. To become who you want to be. To not have to pretend anymore and to not do that subconsciously. The reason why you should do that doesn't matter. In my last relationship, she didn't feel understood because I wasn't positive about big moves. To stand by her publicly and things like that. The reasons were from my side, in the trust towards her, and I did not have that from the beginning, because she told me things about her exes and her dealings with them. And I couldn't believe that she couldn't be like that to me at some point. On top of that, her actions were completely out of line in my opinion. So what was the problem in the end? I saw myself in the right, or rather I told myself that I wanted to protect myself and tried less and less to put myself in her place. It all just got on my nerves. Every time we faced the same problem, and instead of solving it, which was in her power as well as mine, we kept taking one step back and one step forward and so on. Until we both stopped believing that anything could be done. I no longer saw the big picture. I got lost in small things and completely ignored her actions. Both the positive and the negative. Eternal love and beautiful words were all I had for her, and I meant it, but my actions were the exact opposite of what I told. And I didn't notice that at that moment because my feelings reflected exactly that. That's how your partner or ex feels, too. They don't necessarily do it maliciously or on purpose. Well, there should be such people, but just don't assume that she is like that. But your actions must still be aimed at her actions, because they weigh more than what you say. If you do not change anything negative action, you can say whatever you want. Little by little your mutual attraction will suffer because inside you realize what I mean. Probably also subconsciously you or she will wake up unhappy at some point and it will be over. Not because you want it also, but because the negative feelings prevail and you want something nicer for the future. All this starts with dating. A woman who is interested in you will move heaven and hell to spend time with you. Of course, you must first make yourself interesting and stand out from the crowd. A woman who sees you and likes you will rarely jump you directly, but you have to see the interest and whether her actions are appropriate to the whole thing. And you do this at all times, never stopping until the end. Get used to this and rather say no directly or address it before you permanently invest more in a relationship than your counterpart. Because that's how it will continue. Always be at eye level with each other or strive for that. Take care and see you in the next video.